What is going on, people? There's some really cool stuff happening in the Ravencoin community, so we are going to get after it right after this. So if any of you have been following Ravencoin at all, I'm sure you have. Red Panda actually did a video on it today on, I think it was earlier today, on KawPoW, the new algorithm. And, you know, they've been going back and forth about this, the devs and the community and what they were going to do. And it's probably a good thing that Tron Black, the lead Raven dev, basically finally abandoned the sentimental value of X16R, since it was obviously invaded by ASICs and FPGAs. So finally, I guess, you know, other people, and he probably thought about it, and eventually he's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to probably abandon X16R, even though, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, but the very first white paper for Ravencoin was actually the white paper for X16R, so everybody was really confused because they released it as the white paper for Ravencoin. Anyway, so it's a foundational thing. You know, it was designed to be ASIC resistant and all that stuff. Come to find out, you know, just like anything else, anything can be an ASIC can be made for anything as long as it's profitable, right? So yeah, it looks like they're kind of moving away from that. It looks like they're moving towards a custom ProgPoW. You know, basically here we are, you know, looking at Ravencoin moving to a variant of ProgPoW that they are calling KawPoW. I think that's how you say it. Originally, Tron, in one of his posts, he had put KAAAWWWPOW, but you know, it was kind of a joke, I hope, because I was always like, nah, that's not going to work for an algorithm name. But KawPoW sounds pretty good. And basically, what's going to happen is ProgPoW is going to be tweaked a little bit in order to make the algo unique to Ravencoin, which is cool. That's the really cool thing about ProgPoW in general, is that there's different parameters and different settings that you can make in there to actually make it unique for your project, right? So that's what they're actually doing with ProgPoW on Ravencoin on KawPoW. And those tweaks are going to be done in consultation with the originators of the ProgPoW algo. I know Oh Got a Girl, I think that she's involved in this a little bit, at least a little bit. She's been a little sick. Hopefully she feels better. But in general, KawPoW is a derivative of ETHASH with parameters that are optimized to fully use the capabilities of GPUs, and it's heavily dependent on memory. It does build a DAG, much like ETHASH, which a DAG is a directed acyclic graph, which is really just like a large random data set that is drawn from while mixing with the block header hash. You can think of it as a way to control or sequence the version of data being added to the blockchain when there are so many different nodes working on the data at the same time, and they're all going to be attempting to commit the data to the blockchain at differing times. So that's where the DAG actually comes in, and the DAG is going to change every X number of blocks. Don't know what it is. I think it's going to be set to 7,500 for Ravencoin for KawPoW, but that could change. And then also there was this, there was a vulnerability or an exploit for ProgPoW that was brought up by, I forget, Kick. That's right, and basically, it was something that was found that would allow ASICs to continue to mine ProgPoW, right? And so there's a fix for it. I think it talks about it in this particular post here, not post, but this ProgPoW exploit on GitHub, and this exploit is going to be fixed in the KawPoW version of ProgPoW. Okay, so this is something that we hopefully won't have to worry about in the ProgPoW or in the KawPoW algorithm. All right, so just wanted to bring that up. And if this does actually happen, like if this gets implemented for Ravencoin, because remember, it's a community thing. It's not like the devs aren't allowed to, they're not able to say this is going to happen, right? It's based on what the miners actually choose, what code the miners choose to run. But if it does go well, then that could basically offer some PawPoW validity for Ethereum to possibly go to PawPoW also. So I think that that's kind of cool. You know, if it does happen and it goes off without a hitch and everything's fine, then it gives that validity for Ethereum to actually move to PawPoW also. So I think that's kind of cool. Little side benefit there. Let me check the chat because we are going to actually look at, hey, what's up everybody? What's up? Let me go through here. Shuby, Mike, Jonas, what's up? What's up, John? Crypto Mikhail, thanks for tuning in, man. David Coins, Mike, what's up? And Mark, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. What I really wanted to do was kind of go through, I've got a GTX 1660 Super in this machine that I'm on right now, streaming, and I was going to actually just go through some different, actually, let me back up a little bit, because at first there was a KawPoW miner, and that was the only miner that was available. I could not get that thing to run successfully. I was having all kinds of errors, DLL errors. It just would not run. I even tried it on a whole other machine, and I could not get that thing to work. I didn't have a lot of time to troubleshoot it, so I didn't really spend a lot of time on it, but it did not work. So I was really happy to see that Gminer actually released version 2.02, and that includes KawPoW. Now KawPoW is, you know, it's just on testnet right now. That's the only way you can, it's just for testing. It's not implemented in Ravencoin or anything, so it's just testnet only. But I was happy to see that Gminer went ahead and added that so that we can play around with it, and that one works flawlessly. I had no problem with Gminer at all. But that KawPoW miner, I could not get that thing to work. Again, I didn't spend a lot of time on it because it was a little frustrating, because I was like, you know, I did look at the Discord, and I was doing searches and stuff for the errors that I was getting, and nothing matched up. I couldn't find anybody that even remotely had the same problems I did, so I was like, forget this, you know, I'll just wait. So that's what I did. I waited until I didn't know that Gminer was actually working on it, but it was cool to see that they released it. So cool stuff. I'm glad they did. So that's what we'll be using, and it's version 2.02. I don't believe it's been implemented in any of the mining operating systems yet. Let's check simple mining here. Let's see if it's over here yet. So it's version 2.02. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, so this, does it even mention? I am getting that right? 2.02, they're already up to 2.04? That doesn't make sense. Let's find out. Yep, they're up to 2.04. Oh my gosh, all right. So I don't know if it probably doesn't have anything to do with, you can see right here that 2.02 or 2.02, where did it go? Okay, so they've like totally superseded that, I guess. Wow, okay. All right, didn't know that. I did not know that. It says right here that 2.04 added KawPoW, but I think it was 2.02. Am I getting this all messed up? I am. It's 2.04. Okay, all right, my bad. I don't know where I got 2.02 from. All right, I don't know. I was getting confused, I guess. Maybe I was talking about something. I was thinking about something else. All right, so it's 2.04. Gminer 2.04. That's good. That is correct. And that is what added KawPoW right here. All right, cool stuff. All right, let's see. And the GPU I have, like I said, is the MSI GeForce 1660 Super Gaming X. It's the cool one. I think it's pretty cool looking. It's a cool looking GPU. I've got a unboxing video, and we've used this card before whenever we were doing other algos as well. So I think I was going to do PawPoW on Bitcoin interest, and then there was a couple of other, I think I've done I want to say I did Aeon, Zell. Yeah, I did a few using this particular GPU. So let's see what we got so far. I've already got it up and running, and you can see that it is currently getting, and this is a lot lower than what I actually saw a few minutes ago before I started streaming. So streaming does affect it. So I documented what I was getting before. You can see right here, maybe this is where I got that from. I wrote 2.02 there for some reason, and that's probably why I was thinking 2.02. All right, you can see right here I wrote 12.7 megahash is what it was getting, and now it is down to 11.78. And while it was at 12.7, it was getting 112 hashes per watt, right? I think that's right. Let's see here. Kilohash, yeah, kilohash. So this is kilohashes right here. I tried to get it to match. I had to actually change this formula because it was not set to multiply by 1,000, because depending on whether or not you're doing souls or what algo you're using, you kind of have to modify the formula a little bit here. So that's what I did, and so all this is right now, and this is what I was getting before, and you can see that the overclock is, I've got it set to 87% power, 120 core, and 200 on the memory. Let's go and see if, I didn't even check this before, let's go and see if Overcooked Panda has settings for this particular algo, well, for KawPoW on the 1660. Let's see if he's got that in here. There's that. KawPoW search. See if anything shows up. Wow, they're saying, okay, so the one person, the one person that's doing this is using a memory clock of 1700. I don't know about that. That doesn't sound right. Because normally, well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. We can try it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? That sounds like a little higher than what I would normally use, but let me know what you think about that. We might try that in a minute, but for right now, we are at 120 and 200. And again, I'm streaming from this same machine, so this is going to be so inaccurate because, yeah, look at the mega hash going like way down now. That's crazy. All right, let's see here. Why is that going down that much like that? Let's see if we can stop this here. The Deadwood, you are seeing a lot of activity in your area now? It doesn't seem as abandoned as before? Because I'm still going to work where I'm at every day, so it hasn't been fun. You can see right here, oh, this is the parameters I have in here for KawPoW, and this is mining on the Ravencoin TESTNET on MinerMore, which was cool of them to set that up, so that we can actually test this algo. So if you're using Gminer, this is your string. This is what it would look like, your parameters here. And then I added the electricity cost, because that's my electricity cost. So what it does is it throws a little bit more information into the miner's display. And then I've got the API if we were going to monitor it, remotely. We could try that too, I guess. We can play around with that if we get that far. All right, so let me fire this up again and see if we can get a decent hash rate. All right, so it says 11.84 here at 116, but 102 power. Let's see. I'm going to just let it sit here for a second. Maybe let that come up one more time, that display, and then we'll document that and move on to a different setting and see if we can get things to work a little bit better. But I think that what I have in here now is pretty dang efficient. So I don't know if we are going to get better than that. It's already dropping a little bit as far as the, yeah, it's cranking up the power a little bit here, it looks like. We'll probably drop the power. I did put it at, you know, like, what did I have it? Let's see here. 70% of TDP, about. The thermal, just, what was that? TDP, thermal design power. So about 70% of that for this GPU is 87.5. I think the max is 125, I think. Yeah, right here, TDP, 125. So, yeah, so it's 87.5. Now we could probably drop the power down and maybe bump up this hash per watt a little bit. So we might give that a shot too. Let's see what we got right now. So 11.81, 113 watts. Let's document that. What was it? 11.81. At, and we got what, 120, 200 in there. And we got 112 watts. So it says it should be about 105 kilohash per watt. And that's right on, boom, right there. Okay, so that's a pretty good documented example right there. So what we could do is, let's go ahead and go with the Overclocked Panda setting. It's kind of crazy, but in my opinion, it's kind of crazy. Let's go ahead and do 130 and 1700. I'd really like to, you know what, this is probably going to lock my machine up. I don't want to do that. I would really like to, because I've done this before and it's not good. I think it actually locks my machine up and I don't want to do that. Let me go with 250. I think I was at 200, right? And let's see here. So whenever you do that, you'll see in the miner, it'll say OC settings changed, you know, reset statistics and all that. And I know Bitsby Trippin did a stream yesterday or the day before, and he created a shared out spreadsheet, Google Sheets, where we can submit our hash rates and settings and stuff like that. I'll probably try to get this data into that sheet as well. So you're kind of looking at efficiency. Typically you're going to look over here as this, you want this to be as high as possible, right? And once you get this as high as possible, that's typically what you're going to want to run, because you're going to especially if you're on that verge of profitability like I am, with my power cost being 11 cents per kilowatt hour, you know, it's tough to maintain profitability, you know, with 11 cents right now. So this is the most important part of this whole display to me, you know, is how many kilowatts, kilohash per watt you get. All right, so it's 11.65. That's really not much difference. So let's do, I think I had it at 120. Let's give it a little bit more power. Let's see what that does. I'm going to change this back to 120, 200. I think that's what I had it at. on 2200, and then actually no, you know what, we should drop the power a little bit because it's already at 87. Let's get this down to 80. Let's see if we can crank up our kilohash per watt here. And again, these numbers are going to be really weird right now because I'm streaming on the same machine. It would be probably 12, maybe 13, maybe 12 and a half, something like that, mega hash per second. And the wattage would be a little bit different, or the power would be a little bit different too. Hey, what's up, Stephen D? So it's 11.01 at 104. So it's very similar kilohash, you know, per watt here between those two settings, even though one was 112 watts. So whenever you see that, you got to start thinking that you're in the ballpark of maximum efficiency, right? I mean, yeah, down here you might be able to get, let's see, this is one, what did I do here? Power. So this was probably Zell. This was, no, it wasn't Zell. This was, what was this? This might have been, shoot, I don't know what it was. Oh, you know what? It was Bitcoin interest. That's what it was. So somehow at one point I had 12 mega hash and at 103 watts. So again, that's not streaming. That was just me doing it. That's why I left Bitcoin interest up here, is because I was playing around with KawPoW on that using Phoenix Miner also. That's where I got that number from. So what should I use for some overclocks here? Anything y'all want me to try? Maybe pull down the power a little bit. Go to like 75 or something. Oh wow, that was a pretty good one right there, 107. So this was 11.2 at 104. That's pretty strong. Yeah, see, I dropped the power. It did drop the mega hash, but it also dropped the power and a little bit additional kilowatts, kilohash per watt. I keep saying kilowatt, kilohash per watt. So go with 10.68 at 99 watts. So that's pretty strong right there. Even though, you know, this is what's tricky about this, right? Like everybody wants to see the most mega hash, right? But that's not necessarily the most important thing. Especially, like I was saying earlier, especially whenever you're on that verge of profitability. If you've got really cheap electric or free electric, then by all means, max out hash rate, because the electricity doesn't matter, right? The electricity cost doesn't matter at that point. So you should be paying attention to this and making your rig, your GPU, get the most efficient hash rate if you are concerned about profitability and electric costs and all that stuff. So it looks like most likely this is, let's see, You want to go to memory to 650, you're going to lock up my machine probably. I can try it though. We'll see what happens. We're at the end, so we'll go 650 on memory here. See what happens. If I lose you, I probably won't come back. And this is looking pretty good, but it's also would be probably a whole lot better if I wasn't streaming. So 650 might be like a might look pretty good as well from what I'm seeing here, just at a glance. So we got, let's go with 11.2 at 98. It's 650 on the memory. So yeah, that's pretty good right there. Thanks for that, Bear at the North Pole. So far it hasn't crashed my machine, so that's cool. Yeah, we went up to, I was gonna, Overcook, I don't know if you were here for that, but Overcooked Panda's database shows 1700 for the memory. But I'm on Windows too, so I need to have that. So, yeah, so that would be like 850. So yes, 650 is probably pretty good. This is the, oh, you're gonna make me go get the box. What is this thing? It's an MSI board. Hang on a second. It's the X570 Gaming Edge. Yeah, I'd like, now that I'm looking at this, I actually, now whenever it was doing the locking up, whenever I went high on the memory clock, it was actually, I was mining something else. So, you know, again, I wasn't doing ProgPoW or KawPoW or anything. Let's see if it'll handle, let's go 750 here. That's 75% power. That's probably pretty good. Is Brandon Coin going live? Anybody know? Okay, he is live. We'll head over there in just a minute. Yeah, I was doing other stuff, so that's why I kicked the mega hash down a little bit. Let me give it one more cycle here and see what's up. Yeah, so that doesn't look that good. The 650 looked a lot better. And this could creep up, I guess, over time. Yes, still not as good as that 650. That 650 seems solid for sure. Maybe with a little bit more power on that, but then you're gonna sacrifice other things. So I'm gonna go back to 650 here. Hey Deadwood, I'll see you over there. I'll be over there in a minute. make sure if you head over to Brandon Coin that you do the Savage Raid. Let him know that you came from my stream. Yeah, I like that 650 setting for sure. $10.8 at 97. Might even be able to pull down the power even just a little bit more. I feel like 73 on the power. $10.5. What was our best setting? Our best setting was 126.50. Not wanting to go back up there again though. I think we had more power than 75, right? $10.5 at 94. So you're probably going to be somewhere in between these two, you know. Now, if I wasn't streaming and stuff, it would probably bump up a little bit higher on both, on everything, but yeah, that's a good setting. I like that. I like it. Pretty efficient. Definitely need some more time testing and playing around with this to see what the best settings are, but and I will. Also, probably tomorrow I'm going to use a rig, so the Kessel rig, which has all 10 series GPUs in it. So I'll probably hit that one up and do the kind of the same thing, just testing KawPoW on that. So we'll do that. So I'll have this card and then plus a bunch of 10 series cards. So that'll be pretty good data, I guess. So let's head over and see Brandon Coin. Make sure you say Savage Raid or hashtag Savage Raid in there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. This has been fun. I like testing. I like talking to you guys and getting input on overclock settings and stuff. It's cool stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay savage, everybody.